now, and
Yeah.
he's going to start streaming it, and we might be able to. He might be able to fix it so that they can hear us, but who knows? You
Well,
need to come
surely
close.
they need to hear us, but seeing us is not.
They don't see us at all,
Yeah.
but they should be able to hear. Oh, Yeti, yeah, it's all correct. Uh, they right now they can't hear us. He could bring us in image wise, but I don't know if he might. Well, we should be talking as if they can hear us because he might be figuring out
Okay.
how to bring us in.
So
Who
any
knows?
moment then be able to kick off. How's that
They
timer?
have started. They have
Yeah, I'm just
started.
trying to figure out if we can read that timer. It's a very weird one. Looks like it's like a giant scientific calculator
Yeah, it does.
calculating time in radians.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can sort out a more
Can,
permanent timer there.
if we are actually live on
We
Twitch,
certainly can.
I'm not sure if he got us live, and maybe we can have it open to see. Uh, to see whether or not people can hear us. Maybe people can.
The channel is live.
Channel is live,
We
and
can see the
something
table
there.
there.
And can you ask in chat if people can hear us?
I don't think it's anybody in chat yet,
All right,
but
we might be. At least the game is being transmitted and recorded that way.
did we
Yeah.
not solve the sound issue yesterday?
Yeah, we did, and we haven't changed any settings, so we should be audible, but somehow we're not. And I can't figure
Okay.
out what's happened. I think maybe he turned something off when he closed the stream yesterday, and we forgot what he forgot what he turned off, or we forgot, or someone
Okay.
forgot. But I don't know. It's interesting and weird. Do we know who's playing on this table?
Yeah, so we picked a nice international table to kick us off. This is table 18 of the tournament. Unfortunately, we weren't quite able to hit our magical 150 number. We got to 142.
All right.
So then we have players from on the bottom left. We have Pedro from Portugal.
Yep.
Then up, he's player one. Up from him, we have Balázs from Hungary. So he won the first tournament of the Week of Dreams, and he was also a finalist on day two. So really, really strong start to the week. Then up from there, we have. Where is
You
my
put that
list?
here so that you don't have to turn away from the mic when you speak.
Yeah. So up from Pedro, we have Balázs, then we have Jose Maria Rodriguez Martinez. So he's a Spanish player, a real
Almost.
rock and roller
You can almost guess from the name.
from the many, many names, in case one of them gets robbed or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we have the very conveniently marked Dutch player for us with Heroin. And then we have
Just
you-
that as
the entire
bottom
Dutch team came in wearing labeled
orange shirts.
orange shirts. Yeah, so they're representing the country colors. They're representing themselves. It's a really fun way for them to bond as a team. And then finally, we have Lech Ivanov from Lithuania closing out the table. So we have a fully international table representing nice breadth of Europe.
So this is game one of the tournament. This is the European Championships.
European Championships day one. So this
Day
is
one.
the qualifier. So this is quite a unique tournament as far as the event circuit goes, because here, yes, there's going to be a final with its own prizes, but the main thing everyone is competing for today is for the opportunity to qualify for day two.
It's a, kind of a. Yesterday was a last day qualifier for a last day qualifier.
In some ways. So yesterday they were able to skip directly into day two, and today we have the essentially the final count of who is going to be going through. We're going to have 50 players
yeah.
are going to be competing tomorrow for the actual European champion title. So then we already have the pre-qualified players, such as ones from yesterday, and GP winners.
So that would be what, five, six
So
people?
yeah, because we had Martin won yesterday's last chance qualifier,
Mhm.
but he was already pre-qualified as a GP winner.
Yeah. Is
So
there a pass down of that qualification then?
the pass down is going to happen at this event, so
Oh,
it should be
okay.
in turn.
Okay. So there won't be less spots because of him winning
So
two
there'll still
events.
be 50 players. It's just a question of where that's going to end up.
Right.
So with that, it makes for a very exciting, very dynamic tournament because a lot of the time you really need to hunt for table wins. You need your game wins to go to the final. Whereas here, because it's taking the top 50 players, every point matters.
Mm.
Anything you're able to score, any VP,
Stay alive, get that half point, and that might be what you need.
absolutely. So absolutely anything you're able to score here has a real tangible impact.
All right, so we are off here
Yep.
for the first round, and we just have some transfers. We have two vampires being brought out, two fairly large ones has been brought out, and that is something that
Yeah, so
happens.
now we're introducing more technology.
Yeah.
What we have here is because the players are playing in an isolated room,
Yes.
and the main floor judges are down with the rest of the tables. That's a buzzer for them to be able to call the judge.
Yeah.
So if there's a requirement for a judge call, the players will use the buzzer, they'll stop the timer, and a judge will journey towards them back in the hidden drug den.
At the back alley. Yeah. For sure. Uh, these are the beautiful pool markers looking like silver coins that we've been using for the EC throughout the weekend. Um, there's a full chest of them at the middle of the table there, looking like Smorg's treasure. We're only missing a dragon.
Yeah, you can see here some players are really planning to do a lot of pool game. Look at
Yeah,
Pedro
yeah,
staking for himself a little
mhm,
island there that
yeah.
he's going to be
Clearly
aiming for.
staking out his claims there.
Yeah, it's interesting to seeing players kind of hunt for that kind of personal achievement. So he's saying, "What for myself? Like it would be nice to get the game win. It'd be nice to get some VPs, but as long as I get my additional 20 pool or so, that's also
I'm
acceptable."
also, yeah, yeah. Well, as the game's progressing here, we are getting into some actual actions going on.
Yeah,
Uh,
Heroin is being the aggressor here. We can see he's already got the edge. He was the first one to bring out a vampire, and now he's trying to bleed the Ministry Barons, who are trying to resist it as best they can. You can see he's readying, and it looks like the bleed was unsuccessful, and they were able to unlock them in case of any additional shenanigans. We have a second vampire hitting the field. I
probably
don't quite see
bringing
the clan from those ones yet.
no 6/5 vampire there, and he is also
Capacity.
all right.
Vampires exist beyond life.
Of course, of course. And he's also transferring two pool to another crypt con there. So he's setting up to bring out even more vampires.
Too much is never enough.
No,
Look at all that color coding. It's got the orange sleeves, orange backgrounds, these card arts.
yeah,
Is it possible that the entire deck is built around color orange? Can we even search for library cards on VDB by primary color?
I don't know.
Maybe
But
that's a feature that we can request moving forward.
at least he passed around over to player on the bottom here. And what kind of deck do we think this is? I can't
So
really
this
make
is
it
a
out.
Baron breed deck.
We don't
So
have deck list, just to let you know.
no, we've very kindly requested that people send us deck lists if they feel it's something that would enhance the stream. But these are very closely guarded deck lists for the most competitive event of the year. So not a lot of them have come through so far. So we can see here we have the Anarch Barons are bringing out uh, Child of the Revolution. So we're expecting a very, very wide board there from Lech.
We are people hear us. People hear us. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. what I thought. That's kind of what I thought was happening. So people can hear us. All right,
A
that is awesome.
transformational stream.
Yep,
We're not just talking to ourselves as
we
we normally would.
we would obviously do that anyway. let's let's see. In the game, we have what was his name again on the bottom there?
Lech.
Lech passing his turn, cycling a card and passing turn.
Lech representing Lithuania. He's got his Child of the Revolution this time around with Ministry Barons. So a lot of the time, there's been some very successful decks, especially at last year's EC, who got great results with Bruja Barons,
Mm,
because with Bruja Barons, they have access to Bruja Debate, and Bruja Debate gives a free maneuver and +1 strength to all of your Bruja Vampires. In fact, all of the Bruja Vampires on the table.
mm,
So it then gives an incredible value of having a Baron come out, bring out lots of little vampires, and suddenly all the little vampires are incredibly powerful, where they're able to knock out much, much larger prey. So in this case, it's a ministry one, and you can see that when the Child of the Revolution hits the table, it's able to go off and get Mastery Discipline card.
yeah, which is, I mean, even in this game, card draw is still always good in card
Card
game.
search, even.
Yeah,
It's a very powerful ability, but it effectively allows you a vampire that's able to use basic disciplines. So we'll need to see what kind of basic discipline tricks he's going to be pushing forward.
for sure. So we have Pedro's just finishing his
Yeah.
turn there.
So
Uh,
Pedro's also staked out a very fast bleed looking Malkavian deck.
mm,
It's a bit unusual to see Usher tablets and that, but maybe he's just saying that, look, that'll be my defense.
yeah,
So he's got the obfuscate card. We can see in this card, it looks like a bounce card, telepathic misdirection, I think, all art. So he either doesn't seem to be super respecting the lead from Lech, or he's
well,
just
he
saying that
might,
there's going to be a lot of bleeds for one, just once you have all the
yeah,
revolution kicking off.
and he might just feel that the Asher tablets is going to be enough to be more offensive right now.
Yeah, like you thought for the card draw. Yeah. Now we can see the real intimidation factor of the three vampires
Mm.
hitting the field. So Pedro is trying to convince everyone that he's not going to be the absolute aggressor stomping through. So
But we do expect that to be a heavy bleed deck, right?
yes,
Yeah. So he will.
yeah. So we can see like across the table, we can see that Heroin is was the first one committed to the bleed, and he's jumping across. We can see Malkavians who, in the V5 version, really only have one plan. They bleed forward, they bleed hard, they bleed fast.
Yeah. It's the your archetypical rush deck
Yeah. In
configuration.
some ways, the old Dementation Malkavians with the 94 cards used to be a more diverse, more flexible deck because they had cards that allowed them to bleed a player of their choice, for example.
Mhm.
So then you were able to get in some of the fun threats conversation and a general negotiation tactic, like because you could offer bleeds as trades into any player. And you also had some interesting effects, most of which got replicated with what they got. So, for example, you had the call as part of the dementation cards, which was able to have your Malkavians bring in more of them from your quick, and now they're doing that through their access to dominate.
Mm.
So that deck has the ability to govern.
Cover the
So
outline.
with govern superior, they can
I'll
bring
cover
out,
severe.
yeah, the govern general line. So superior power of that, they're able to bring out more vampires faster. They have access to bounce,
Mm.
both a telepathic misdirection and deflection, so they can send their bleeds downtown, but also reinforce that with their predators' bleeds still pushing into their prey.
So him hasn't really sorted his pool as clearly, but I think that's 13 pool left for him now, with only two vampires brought out yet. Would he be looking to bring out another one? Because it looks like he's negotiating something here. He hasn't gone. Oh, he has done transfers already. Oh, all right. I missed the transfers there.
Yeah, at this point, like they're just trying to agree between themselves as to how much of a threat the Malkavians are,
Right, right.
and he's trying to convince our Dutch player that he needs to contribute something to it. But that's
Mm.
always a difficult situation to be in because they're both his cross-table allies.
Yeah,
So then, him picking one over the other,
yeah. If I were a Dutch player here, I'd be biding my time to see where who is really acting like the threat,
yeah,
rather than just listening to them. Why? That,
because Balazs has an unlocked vampire, he's
yeah,
still on 13 pool.
yeah,
So, however hard Pedro might come at him,
hmm
it seems almost impossible that he'll kill him in a single turn.
yeah. Probably not. 13 pool is still a lot. I mean, he's got a lot
And if
of
he
them.
puts him into a critical situation,
Yeah, he might
then
be.
they could potentially switch to,
He
almost a
might.
top dog situation where it's one against all.
Yeah.
We can see politics sticking up at the top there.
hmm
So that's our
Critical deck. I assume that.
Camarilla's Iron Fist,
Yeah, we saw that
and they're
yesterday as well.
negotiating votes to see where.
Obviously, Pedro might not benefit from this, as even though he's across table, he might not be the beneficiary of this one. He'd rather have Lech maybe
Mhm.
benefit from it. Uh, but before that, Drone might actually be able to oppose it. We see Drone at least attempting something here.
Yeah, so it seems to be he's done his vote. So now that's a bleed going across as well.
Oh,
You can see there stealth coming down for it.
and how did he distribute the Iron Fist there? I didn't notice anyone removing any pool for it.
They removed one and one. I'm not sure he went for the full five amount.
Oh,
Is
okay.
he
He
allowed
might.
to not do that?
I would not know.
Show us the Iron Fist.
Um, it seems that it did. I didn't see five pool leave the table, so somehow he did something less dangerous at this point. He is sitting at pretty at 15 pool himself, but he's got two fairly hefty vampires out there. One open and
No,
one
it's
locked.
5 points. We saw Heroin removed at least one pool. We saw himself remove one.
Yeah, because of the cost, obviously.
Yeah.
But who else got allocated that pool? Um, Certainly no pool lost by either Pedro nor um, the,
Strange. Maybe we drastically underestimated how much pool
oh, he
was
lost a vote.
on Heroin's. Oh,
He could have lost a vote.
so it's just payment for it.
Yeah, that could have been it.
We have so many just incidental titles floating around.
Yep.
Like even Malkavians might have princes there.
Well, I mean, chat
We
might
definitely
keep
have
us.
we definitely have barons down with
Someone on chat might
the
have
Child
seen
of the
what happened
Revolution.
and be able to keep us honest about that. But the way it looks right now, it looks like turn is going to. Turn has been passed to Jerome, right?
Yeah,
Yep, and
and with
he
that
is
block, he managed to
transferring
hold
it.
on to the edge,
Yep,
which is
and
always a phenomenal achievement, like especially on a table like this, to be able to
yeah,
keep it.
whole room with two heavy bleed decks on
Well,
side.
he's one of them.
Oh well, for sure, three heavy bleed decks really. He brings
But
out
you can
another
see that
vampire.
Pedro is prioritizing building his board. So
Yeah,
that's where he's able to really push out the vampires while still maintaining his pool.
yep.
We see if his last crypt card also has anything in it, because we saw how strongly the table reacted to him getting four, him getting three. A fourth vampire is going to send at least Balash into real panic.
It should. Um, so Jerome has a card that needs to be read apparently. Do you know what that is?
I have no idea.
We didn't get to read it, so we wouldn't know.
If it's so obscure, players at the EC don't know about it. We have another Child of the Revolution coming down.
Right.
The revolution is really kicking off and is being televised as promised.
So Lech is at least not looking to deviate from his game plan yet.
I like his real quiet approach, like because you have all the negotiation from the top players,
Mm,
whereas
mm.
he's just quietly building an enormous board
Yep,
and then seizing the means of production.
yep, yep. Uh,
Yeah, you
it
can see
it's
more
a solid
stealth
plan.
cards coming there.
I wouldn't disagree with him. Now, uh, turn
Asher
over
tablets the
to
second.
Pedro, gets the second Asher tablet already in play. So that's strong.
Now let's see how much he delivers on his promise of not being an enormous threat.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, he might go one more round
Now that's the
of
governed
the.
bleed coming down
Oh
right
no!
there.
So he's starting to be a threat, and of course, seeing how his prey is also really an offensive deck mainly, he might just hope that he hasn't drawn any deflections or anything, and that he can just run with it.
Second tradition came down to Wake the Prince.
Hmm.
Uh, you have a block failed coming through, and now it's getting bounced.
He is bouncing it,
Yeah.
and it's over to a top player there. Is he able to block it then?
Well,
How
so
much?
far there's no actual stealth on it. So far,
No
he
stealth.
just played a block failed.
Yeah,
So here you could have Jose Maria could make some kind of deal.
yeah. Just take
Just
it for
block it.
one
See, he's talking about
because
being a
it's
friendly
just for
guy. He is a friendly guy.
yeah, it's just for one now, right?
Three.
It's for
Government
three. It's already governed. All right, yeah. So that's a lot. If you're on 15 as Jose Maria, you might not want to be blood for three.
Yeah, but I also don't see why Pedro would want to do so.
No, exactly.
Vampire's getting tapped. Is that going to be for a block? Is that going to be for another bounce? Will we see more bleeds traveling all the way across the table?
Yeah, could be. But that looks like a block to me because there is no window
Yeah.
slamming
So
it,
see, the action's failed.
and
The
Pedro allows it
blood
to
goes
be blocked.
back
Yeah.
onto govern. Punch for one.
Mm. And Pedro
Nice civilized Vitas.
wouldn't Pedro be able to unlock that vampire now? No, the
Yeah, to unlock, you need fortitude
oh,
normally, fortitude or celerity or some of the more exotic disciplines.
I thought that the second card he played there would allow him to unlock.
No, no, the second card was block fails.
Oh, that was the block fails. All right.
Yeah.
So this bleeds go through, and he bleeds for three, takes the edge, and I can only assume he's going to let that last
For
vampire
somebody who
stand.
said he's not a threat,
He's
suddenly
pretty offensive.
we've seen govern, we've seen conditioning.
Yeah, he looks a bit offensive here.
As far as people writing down a list of threatening Malkavian cards,
Those would be on it.
I think we're seeing easily two of the top three.
All right. So we have turn being passed.
See no transfers here because
No, he does
they're
have pull.
like the children are building up behind them,
Hmm.
but at the same time have some.
Yeah. What was that
Okay,
pull?
so he forgot the influence phase. It seems.
All right.
So when we were discussing to see what the fourth card was to see if he's able to expand his board and further terrorize.
He instead brings out another crypt card.
Yeah, so it must be a duplicate of one of the three vampires he already has out.
That would make sense. Or it's something he really to bring out right now.
I would be surprised like if there was something that he had no use for, because that crypt is fairly stable. Like it's
Yeah.
nice on vampires. It has a good curve to it for govern. So you normally bring out somebody like Alexander Silverson
Mm.
that we saw in yesterday's finals, and then he's able to just go down each step like as they govern each other.
Yeah. Now instead we get
So Balash is playing
Balash.
Tremere.
Yeah, he gets to fish out another card.
Everybody's favorite, the Heart of Cheetius.
He tries to patch here to one of his two vampires.
Yeah, it's the Heart of Cheetius is really one of those cards that it's almost difficult to find a reason not to put it in any deck. and he's bringing both out
It's
with Magic the
always
Smith.
useful. Always
Magic the
useful.
Smith, I have to say, when I was coming into the game, when we discovered that as something interesting to jump into,
Mm.
we found that it was still alive during COVID. Magic the Smith, to me, was just an incredible card coming from anywhere else. Like,
Yeah.
if you consider any other card game where it's an almost irresistible ability for just one blood to search your entire deck for an equipment
Yeah.
and put it on your vampire,
Yeah. No,
unbelievable.
of
You still
course.
pay the pool cost for it.
Tutoring is always strong. Like even in a game like this where you have almost unlimited card draw, tutoring is still super strong.
But then it allows you to play much thinner on equipment
Sure.
because you only need one copy of each,
Because you can fish it out.
and you're able to fish it out. And then, even though the game has the core principle that every action has a solution in a block,
Mm.
it's kind of something that we do with demo games, especially with BCP,
Yeah.
because a lot of newer players can get incredibly intimidated because they're saying that, look, there's 30 years of cards. How am I ever going to catch up? Like, I don't know these cards.
I mean, I've been around since '98, and I have no clue how to get my head around the card pool.
Yeah,
Uh,
but in many ways, like, your path to essentially serenity through this camp pool is the core nature of the game.
yeah.
That almost everything has to be an action, and almost anything can be countered by a nice, simple fish to the face.
Yeah. Yeah.
The blocking mechanism with Magic of the Smith, it's three stealth actions, so
It is harder to block.
but it still plays within that main mechanism.
Yeah.
So it still has
As anything
your
does.
threat, and then for the threat, you have the possible solution of a block.
Yeah. So it looks like we only had Black do a lot of board state improvements here.
Yeah, so
Any?
Balash got both of his vampires equipped.
Yep.
You have the Heart of Nicias, which is going to allow him to draw three cards during his untap phase,
Hmm.
and then put three cards from his hand on the bottom of the deck.
Yep.
He got another equip. I should quite see what it is, but
It's
judging
the
by the prints it's
white
on,
light thing there. Yeah.
I would suspect it's probably something like the Bowl of Convergence to give him a chance to block,
All right.
or it's a gun to punish him when he blocks. Considering even with his second tradition, he failed to catch any of the Malkavians, I would be surprised if it was anything other than Bowl of Convergence.
Did you see? Did he play that Mastercard this face, or was that last face?
So that's a Chantry. Uh, I think came down this turn. The, so like the Tremere have a really fascinating set of cards. Like, some of them are very strong,
Hmm.
and Chantry is a really cool effect. Plus, it doesn't cost you much of anything to actually bring out.
As I mean, as
So
it's the
when you
case
have
with
a free Mastercard, and then you're able to bring your additional tool, like,
yeah, most cards are free, and that's one of the strengths to them. You get one of those every turn,
yeah.
and if you're able to bring out a Mastercard every Master face, that's a slow and steady way to improve your board state.
I don't think here the Chantry is going to be relevant to the flow of the game because it allows you to recover your vampires from torpor, and I don't see anyone who would be pushing him into torpor right now
No,
because
you
you have a
never know.
voting deck as his prey, you have a bleeding deck as his predator, so it really looks like just card cycling.
Yeah, uh, even such that is free draw.
So now we know what that mystery card is that's up from the edge.
Mm.
That's Narrow Minds that we saw in the final of the stream yesterday. This is the card that makes cost all bleed bounds cost an additional blood.
And
So
that was bounced.
so it's been bounced by the Ministry
Hmm.
to the Malkavian player. The Malkavian player used one of his vampires, and now he's bouncing it onto Balash.
Mm.
So Balash under a lot of pressure.
Polish is down to 11 pool, which is not. It's not where you get really sweaty yet, but having a Malkavian at his back, breathing down his neck, it is not comfortable.
So you have a Wake coming in to attempt to block.
Hmm. Oh,
He's playing stealth, but saying that he can still block. So it's definitely ball of convergence that was played as the equipment. They agreed for hands.
hmm
As far as I can tell, there it was just an agreement to allow him to cycle stealth cards
yeah, yeah,
for him to build up the hand to what he wants it to be.
yeah, yeah.
And we can see a bleed for one being allowed across with the ministry tapped out.
Right.
So it seems to be that Heroin's bleed deck is a little bit clumped on stealth,
hmm
and he's trying to rebuild his hand to where he's able to actually get
Get something through onto
bleed
the,
raises to get meaningful across, like because his prey is sitting by far at the most pool of the table.
and also with a really hefty board state with all those children of revolution, with all a couple of vampires out. He's looking pretty good there. And he's that well, he's tapping for. What's
No,
that?
he's got a master card, so he just wanted to
Okay,
play that before he went on to the minion phase.
and now he's bringing out another
That
Shadow
looks like a
Revolution.
Carfax.
Oh, oh, okay. But he didn't play a Shadow Revolution
So now
again.
he plays a child.
Yeah, yeah.
He is likely going to go unblocked.
hmm But that
And
that
he get
board is
another discipline card.
yeah. That
It's unusual to see the deck dedicate that much space to discipline cards to actually play them all.
hmm. Well, I mean, he seems to be able to do that fairly unchecked right now.
Yeah. So now the Child of Revolution comes in with no blood, has to hunt. You can see it build up. At some point here, like there's going to be a point where they hit critical mass, and then all of this is going to come pouring across the table.
Certainly.
So we're
Uh,
really kind of relying on Heroin to keep Lek honest here,
yeah. But
and we can see the pressure start applying now. So this is where you have Pedro discarded telepathic misdirection
mhm,
because with narrow minds on the table, making telepathic +2,
yep,
and his predator being primarily a bleed for one deck,
yeah,
it really kind of reduces the value for you for the bounce.
right. But Lech is bringing out another fairly big vampire there. He's got three vampires. Well, I mean, mid-sized vampire. But it's bringing himself down to 8 gold.
For a lot of it in MP5, we've seen vampire sizes come down quite a bit.
Mm,
So we still have some decks that are running enormous star 10, 11 cap vampires, but with the incredible concentration of stats that they're able to get into the 7 and 8 cap barons, where you're still getting your title, you're still getting your abilities in there, you're still getting your right mix of disciplines.
yeah,
And
there's little reason to overpay.
yeah, so we can see at this table, like, we're not going to see any vampire above 8,
Most
maybe
likely.
not even 7.
Yeah.
So you can see Ialek there. It's kind of the new standard of the V5 vampires that Balash has on his table.
Mm,
So that's a 7 cost prince with 3 superior disciplines, giving the full mix of the clan's abilities,
mm.
and very
Or
much the standard.
for basically is that. So has turned past Federer here now,
Yeah,
right?
so Pedro is back at it, same thing you do every night.
Yeah.
We can see a bleed. It looks like a governed bleed coming through.
Yep.
He's got the Dreams of the Sphinx, giving him increased hand size,
Balak
and
the
he's got
seated.
Seduction to stop Ilek from blocking.
Yeah.
So he's expecting wakes from Balash. We already saw him play one
Oh, he
when
paid for
he
Balak
took.
is paid for the bleed.
Well, like when he got hit with Seduction to block, it makes it that much more
Yeah.
difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, there's fair, it's fairly reasonable to see Pedro go for another bleed here.
But I'm really expecting the second tradition coming through.
Oh, he equipped something, right? No, he's just
That's
paying
the
for
second
it.
tradition. So
Yeah. Yeah.
he pays 1 block, ready, and attempt to block,
Mm.
+2 intercept. So the 2
And
intercept plus 1 for the ball, 3 the intercept attempt to block,
and,
unless Pedro has a block fails, and we
it
can see that
looks
it's successful, and he's just giving the almost celebratory looking symbol for the punch for one.
yeah. So blocked, and he goes down to Topper. Was that aggravated somehow?
Is it possible the equipment he's got is the ivory bow
I would not
that
know
he's set on there?
because he did like that. He didn't turn it over. It's there's a lot of glare on that corner, so
We
it's
can't even see if
virtually
there
black.
is blood on that.
But there is blood on it, and he has pushed it down. When he's moving the hand over it, you can see a couple of blood coins on it.
Okay, so it must be ivory bow then.
Yeah.
So he's got the second tradition in this case for at least block.
hmm Granted
And
that,
then you have another block. Yeah, we just confirmed at the table that there's an ivory bow there.
yeah. So
And then another vampire goes to poker.
yeah. So
And
Pedro,
now Pedro confirms that, if you don't mind, can you please witness the fact that I am not a threat anymore?
so Pedro did bring another crypt card into his. Yeah. So that's what I was looking for. Is he going to transfer to it? And he did transfer
He's transferring two.
to. Yeah.
So in this case, for himself, because he has a large revolution
Mm,
building up behind him,
mm,
he is trying to hedge his bets.
yeah.
So he's trying to see how badly he gets attacked from his predator,
Yeah.
and then he's putting the minimum that would allow him to bring out a vampire.
Yeah.
So it's got to
He's
be
just
some
setting up.
six cap Malkavian.
Yeah, and he's just setting it up so that if he needs to bring out another vampire, he can. Otherwise, he's probably happiest.
Well,
Trying
I think the
to
situation is he's definitely not happy.
no, but he'll be happy to just bring those two he already had out of Topo. Um, his next round could be a very much less aggressive.
So we have, it looks like Abraham there as his last vampire.
Mhm.
With, in this case, with the aggravated damage, there's still quite a lot of blood on the vampire's in torpor, so it makes it easier to actually cover the payment and have them act quite quickly.
Right.
And now you have a situation where Balash has to convince them that he's not a threat,
Yeah,
considering he's just sent his Predator's entire board. Uh,
I mean, if you bring
yeah, happy sleepy bye
Malkavians,
bye.
if you do bring Malkavians to a tournament, you have to be prepared to argue with that. It's just you're able to do consistent three hits, pretty much a couple every turn. Obviously, you're going to have to argue that.
Consistent threes, sometimes sixes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's just you're going to have to be good at talking, and
Oh,
he is killing that vampire.
diablerie
He killed that
and
vampire.
act most foul.
Yeah. So this time, instead of going forward, Malak is striking backwards at Pedro. Basically, it's his neck here.
Unbelievable that he got the votes for that.
Interesting.
But it essentially it got the support of the ministry with all their barons,
Yeah.
and from there he's able to survive.
Yep.
So it seems to be Pedro is really getting hammered by
Right.
both his neighbors.
Right. And
I'm surprised to see this. Maybe this early in the tournament, like people are happier with it. Sometimes even the prey would be a little bit cagier about their predator getting eliminated,
right.
because here, like, he's really, really being put on the ropes, where he's down a vampire, he's got to bring one out of torpor. He may not be able to even meaningfully afford the one he has. We haven't seen if he's got the third Asher in hand yet.
Yeah,
The
no,
three
that would make a
duel
huge difference.
would be a big difference in terms of being able to afford another vampire.
Yeah.
But it was very mean-spirited votes, would like the record to reflect. We do not support the act of diablerie. We follow all the traditions of the mass.
I mean, talk for yourself. I do like me myself some Diablerie, as long as it's coming across to those. Well, let's see. Lexo, on the other hand, is sitting there with a huge board, and it's not really engaged either offensively or really offensively. It's just been building, building, and building.
And it doesn't even seem to be getting acknowledged yet.
That's a threat.
a real major threat on the board. Yeah,
Yeah, which is interesting to me. If I was Salah, I'd rather have Pedro as my predator rather than that huge behemoth of a bull.
yeah, because you have a better fit that way.
Mm.
Having
Pedro gets to bring that one back somehow.
so then we have a cross table rescue.
Yeah.
You can see there he's talking to Pedro agreed to
Mm.
pay.
Oh, we have a judge call maybe? No,
Just
no, no. Yeah, they just
an
told me.
offer of
Yeah. Uh, so Pedro helped. We got some help from Jose Maria, and yeah, the Hispanics are
as he
landing.
established very early. He's a very nice man.
Yeah, very nice man. And we get turned passed over to Rom then, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, looks like.
as a very talk. No, he's attempting to breed them.
Oh, and it
Another stealth
seems to be.
block has failed and bleed is successful. That's a lot of effort for one bleed.
Yep. And Chrome actually has some of the most solid stats at the moment, sitting at what is that, 10, 15?
Yeah.
He certainly can afford to lead.
Well, if the ministry ever find one of their villains,
Hmm.
he's going to be
He's
in
going
a
to be the.
phenomenal position
Yes,
because he's got the Carfax Abbey to keep his entire board topped up on blood.
blood.
Carfax
Yeah,
Abbey with the barons in place gives two per turn.
yeah. So, so that, that's kind of what I've been thinking is that really Lech is the silent king of this table, and the rest of them have just not noticed yet.
Well, I'm pretty sure Heroin has noticed and he has been trying to bleed him through. But if the defense holds up this turn, like if his pool doesn't drop,
Mm,
he's going to
significantly.
be in a very dominant position.
Yeah, and Rome has been bleeding, but has not been any huge bleeds. It's been a one or two bleed here and there. Um, so,
Consistent flow.
yeah, certainly. We are still waiting for the.
Judge.
So we do have a judge call, and we will see what that is. So there's a little bit of a break here then, as they're waiting for the judge to make his way up the stairs into the back room. Um, and the timer has been paused, as you can see there.
We have a judge sprinting his way up the stairs at the moment.
Mhm. So we're going to take off uh, from here. So we are sitting in the main room where most of the people are playing. This is a beautiful hall, the Turbinehallen in beautiful Aarhus, Denmark, which is the location of this year's European Championships. We have 148,
Two players.
142 players.
148 would be tragic
That would
because
be
there's
great.
been so much discussion for the week of trying to hit that magical 150 number
Mm,
of trying to get the 75 players qualifying for day two, and from there we missed it by this much already with few players falling sick and not being able to make it here. Last night, obviously, you had an enormous effort from the entire player base, flirting with the local women who were then very surprised to not be asked back to their hotel room, but being asked to a card tournament in the morning to try and get us to the magic 150 number. I don't think that effort has been
to no effect.
overly successful.
No. So
So we have the discussion there with the judge. Everyone seems to be shocked that barons have so little disadvantage
hmm,
in being able to still use their bounce that normally has no blood cost.
right.
And narrow minds then just means, oh, there's one more.
Yep.
I would keep going.
Uh, and that is the discussion that is right now. So we have a room full of people that were just sitting on the stage watching the whole room play, except for the streaming table, which is located in the back room we talked about.
Banished into a back room.
But if you do hear some little bit of a noise in the background of our commentary here. That is a whole room of players discussing who's going to help whom bleed who. So yeah, uh, we have
Bleed vote. I'm sure there's some incredibly esoteric deals being made.
probably. Now, yesterday in the stream, we had a bit of a lower quality, and some people might have noticed that we had a large echo on our commentary yesterday. And that hopefully is resolved out. The reason we will have that echo come back for the finals would be the fact that we are actually live in this room for the audience to view, and that will create sort of a feedback loop to everyone. So for the finals, we might have that echo return, unfortunately. Hopefully, we're sounding a little bit clearer right now. As the game starts progressing again,
Yes. So we now have heroin is bleeding for one. So we have the ministry come down from their position. So he isn't a prohibitive favorite, but it is something there. It is showing a weakness, but as we said, like we're all more or less living in hopes that the Barons don't end up hitting their uh, Villain. Because the moment they hit Villain, it's
things are
going to
going to
be
be
terrifying.
yes, yes.
He's got all the good locations. He's got
Three children of the
the
revolution,
Carfax Abbey,
yeah, and
three barons,
three
three
barons,
children.
yeah.
At least he hasn't hit the 2.1 children to keep vampire population constant.
Right, right. He's unlocking that. It did Rome pass already?
Yeah,
So
he got through. See, I think like part of it was a concern that the bleeds are just too easy for the barons
mm,
to bounce and go across.
it's-
Have another location coming down.
can't really make that out.
Well, that one is
Maybe just a card cycle.
no, but that one has quite a recognizable art. I don't recognize what it is. If anybody on stream wants to help us along, like it should be relatively straightforward. And now we have all the children are starting their bleeds for one.
Yep.
We have
And Pedro
one being
can just
taken off
slide it
for
through.
each one, and now we have the barons follow up with that.
And that is a larger bleed for two.
So it's a
Pedro
plus one
just
bleed
pays.
baron.
Pedro has no wake uh,
Well, at least
vampires.
he's acting no wake. The problem he's got is that Abraham Mellon is down to one blood.
Yeah,
So even if he has
he can't really be in a
a
fight.
bounds,
Yeah,
the narrow minds precludes him from being able to pay the cost.
yeah, yeah. So at this point, Pedro
He,
just has to eat it. But then that passes time to Pedro, and Pedro needs to rebuild here.
yeah, so he took the dreams for plus hand
And that
size. He
is the
found
Asher
his third
table.
Asher table.
Oh yeah, that's really what he needed.
He redraws for the Asher table and now goes to processing.
Mm.
So he gets his three pool, and that's a very, very important
Yeah,
step
it's a
that
huge difference for
you
him.
repeatedly see go wrong. Like, so make sure when you play your Asher tablet that you redraw for that before
Mm.
resolving the effect. What will happen now is he can put up to 13 cards back into his library.
Right.
He puts one on top. He will then shuffle the library, draw the card he put on top, and discard down to hand size. So it can be quite an awkward and annoying situation for judges if people resolve everything without redrawing for the Asher first.
Mm-hmm. Because you end up in
Because
a weird state when these cards are already in the deck. You shouldn't be able to draw it before the replacement. Because it's a little bit tricky.
yeah, very very considerate. Letting everyone review the cards going in. It looks like a lot of governance. We have the edge in the wrong position at the moment. So the edge should
Yes,
be with the
should be
ministry
Relech.
player.
It should be Relech, yes, because it did bleed three small bleeds and a larger one on top of that. So Pedro's shuffling his library there.
I think
removing
Pedro
the.
is happy for a breather, like of just getting
Yes,
to reshuffle the library,
yes,
a little
yes.
break in momentum.
That
It's
that
going to be really interesting to see if he tries to bring in his six cap vampire now, because for him, he is in a bad situation.
for sure.
So maybe he feels he's able to push across with three vampires, even if they have very little blood on them,
Mm.
because you can see there Alexander just did the mandatory hunt. No, he didn't even do the mandatory hunt yet.
No, yeah,
He's just been rescued.
yeah,
He got one from the hunting ground, it looks like.
yeah. Could be.
So he's got one. A third vampire would give him one more shot, maybe.
Yep.
But
But it
bringing
would
himself
bring
down
him
to
low.
five,
Yeah. Would
bringing him down to five would require him to either bounce or have some other solution for the children coming across.
he's trying to do something now. Is he trying to rescue that?
No, that's the Dreams of Sphinx.
Oh, okay.
They confirm that the clock is still running.
Yeah. Is that a bleed?
It's a govern, and we have seduction coming in on Ilek.
Hmm. Interesting.
We have Awake coming in on
Barnabas
the other
waking.
vampire.
Yeah. He's only got one blood on that vampire, right? Pedro does.
It gets plus one stealth. You have Eagle's Eye coming in for plus one
Pretty
intercept,
cheeky.
a plus one stealth again.
Pedro is gambling here.
Oh, and foreshadowing destruction for a plus three bleed because
And
both
Balak
him.
is looking dejected there.
No, he's got telepathic misdirection.
Oh,
But
so
this is
he.
a very dangerous telepathic misdirection for the foreshadowing destruction
Mm,
because foreshadowing destruction has plus three bleed if the target has nine or less pool,
hmm.
and in this case, both of them have it.
Yeah.
So you can see that it's getting bounced across, and the bleed is getting reduced as it bounces further. So
Yes.
even though he played at superior, it's he's explaining that it doesn't get the extra bleed for him being at nine or less.
Yeah.
He's still a bleed for four, which is not the
That's
most
not
comfortable
insignificant.
experience.
It's not insignificant, and it's now on Jerome. Like this big. Uh,
So he's offering to just block it if he's able to maneuver too long. But
so we have a block there. It's costing a blood. Okay, so he's got one blood
he
left on
got
that.
Govern across.
Huh.
What was
I
played?
think
So
you're.
did
I
he
think
reduce
Jerome.
it?
I think Jerome just blocked it, and they went to
No.
strikes.
Okay, could be.
Yeah, because they both removed
But he
one.
didn't tap any vampire.
Oh yeah, it's the one on the left.
No, I say Heroin didn't tap
Oh,
anything.
he unlocked the vampire and locked it again. He just did the.
No. He did a reduction for three. That's
Oh,
protected
is that what
resources.
he did? Is that what he did then? All right.
So
And
protected
Pedro's.
resources. Protected resources is a beautiful card. I really like the art on that card. I really like the concept of it. There's some incredible Nosferatu decks that essentially run that as their entire defense,
Mhm.
where they will run 15 copies, so just reduce bleed by three.
Yeah.
And that means that they have to have an unlocked vampire to be able to play the reaction.
Yeah.
But it then means that they don't have to worry about the multiple components of a block of trying to intercept or anything like that. And a lot of time, a reduction of three is going to keep you significantly safe.
It rarely mean you rarely lose more than one blood of either.
Yeah.
So Pedro is still considering going offensively, it seems, which is, I guess, wall or bust.
It would be very, very tough to go for this round. He has to. There we go.
He's transferring one pull back and sitting pretty.
But it's a strange half move
Mm.
that he's not entirely giving up on the vampire.
No,
But
no.
look, I'll take one back.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm willing to show a prophecy of less aggression. I'm not willing to commit to it 100%.
Exactly. All right. So we would have Balak in turn now, and he.
We're just waiting to resolve the discard.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But he seems as well to be debating with himself as he's unlocking here. He he's not he's not yumping the gun here on going forward either. Um,
Yeah, he's not with Tremere. I think he's waiting for Jose Maria to put himself into a position where he can try and lunge, because they have similar disciplines, but they still have dominate.
mm,
So in reality, Balash's deck can, govern bleed with foreshadowing or whatever,
mhm,
almost as well as Pedro's. He doesn't have the stealth to back it up, but what stealth they have can be quite aggravating.
yeah,
And then the ivory bow obviously makes the block much more awkward.
yeah,
When you already have the board tapped down for the bounce that they did,
yeah. Saying,
it's a govern superior.
yeah, all right. So he's going for a gun.
So he's
That's a
still
three.
he's still pacing himself for his lunge.
Just leading for three.
What? No,
No, is
no,
it
no.
governed?
He just did govern superior to put three blood down on the vampire in his uncontrolled region. Then he's bringing out a
Yeah, yeah,
six
yeah,
capacity
yeah.
vampire, expanding his board.
Blood govern can be used in both ways, obviously.
As long as you have the right level of discipline.
Mm,
So govern inferior allows you to bleed with plus two bleed, costing you one blood for yourself at zero stealth.
mm,
And then govern superior is a one stealth action, and it allows you to put three blood from the pool down on a vampire in an uncontrolled region.
yeah. And seeing how Balak is at now 7-4, that's probably the best option he's got to progress his board state. And we have Jose Maria in turn now. Then,
Yeah, he's really trying to figure out his position on the table, because at this point, almost everybody else has, kind of called out their function in it.
yeah,
You have the two bleed decks, so you can see
reading a
there
third there
a
with
cheeky bleed for one to move the edge. Is getting the edge is still in the wrong position, which is a little bit, but that's getting moved across. We have Awakened Vampire who is attempting to actually get the block,
Grokus.
and
Yeah, no,
no, it's been blocked. So now it's going into the actual combat.
can be a strike for one.
Strike for three.
Oh, oh, that's what he played there. All right, so that hurt. Jose Maria got his fingers in that trap.
Yeah, was option of a press.
Mm. And he is. He's pressing.
He's pressing for that, punching for three again.
Yeah, and punching out.
This is vicious.
Yes. So we were talking about Grom having a bleed deck there, but he certainly has some fighting cards in it as well. And granted, what we've seen this week,
I don't like that. Like he took one for the edge, but he doesn't. He shouldn't have the edge. Have the greatest pool at the table, gaining additional pool. But look, not much we can do here without having a judge present.
yeah, because the
The
Ministry
ministry
Direct that
got
should
that
have had
bleed through.
the edge, yes, certainly.
So we have Delane.
Hmm.
So he's really presenting himself
And,
as
and,
the villain.
and we did talk about Jerome being a bleed deck, but he is presenting a bit of fighting here. Is that a meta call? Because we did see a lot of fighting decks throughout the week. Is having the ability to strike back almost necessary in this meta?
Sometimes it keeps the opponent honest. So essentially, like he can come in, he can do his bleed. Like he's essentially using combat as both a solution to being bled himself and as a pseudo stealth.
Mm,
So
mm.
that way, like he can just bleed a certain that if he gets into combat,
He can actually
then
hurt someone.
yeah,
It costs someone something to actually.
yeah the voting deck behind him doesn't have that many options. So we have new viewers dialing in and just looking to see who is at the table here. So to fully represent the experience, we're glad with more international tables. In position one on the bottom left, we have Pedro Rodriguez representing Portugal. Up from him, we have Balázs Sebastian representing Hungary, playing a traditional Tremere wall deck of some sort. We have Jose Maria Rodriguez Martinez, who is representing the politics side of this table, I believe. Then we have Heroin van Oort from the Netherlands, and finally Lech Ivanov from Lithuania. In terms of decks themselves, we have Pedro on Malkavian Stealth Bleed, we have Tremere Wall, we have Politics of some sort, we have a NOS um, combo Bleed fight deck with protected resources, reducing the bleeds, and then we have the Ministry Child of the Revolution.
I guess sort of bleed fight combination.
Child of the Revolution. As the great philosopher Joseph Stalin put it, quantity has a quality all of its own.
Certainly. Well, I mean, we talked about this yesterday a little bit. Having a board state like the one Lech is having allows for so many actions. You can take more actions than anyone else. And
Yes, but
that
he's
is something.
limited in who's able to take which action. So it's kind
Sure,
of similar
sure.
in that way to the Hecate decks, where you very much have kind of your back row and your front row separation.
Mm,
So because he's running so many Child of Revolutions, and then he has to have quite a lot of discipline cards for them, he
mm,
can't afford as many um, actual action cards. So then he has to have the Barons take the Child of the Revolution action.
mhm.
He has to have the MasterCards for it. So it's quite a dedicated split. And
And here
then
we see the
there's so
villain.
much temptation for those beautiful, beautiful Anarch locations,
Yeah, yeah.
just giving you so
So
much
much,
value.
so much value. We did see the villain come down there for Lech, and that's what we've been talking about. If he can villain now, once or twice, he'd be in a very very good position, and we see him do that.
But here's exactly what you were saying, like having such a vast board where he has to do almost whatever he wants.
Mm,
He's able to toss in a rescue with almost no consideration for it,
mhm,
just to kind of keep his predator honest.
mhm,
Just when the Baron's reaching across, he knows he can get the blood back with Carfax.
mhm.
The new MasterCard that came down there looks like an Anarch Railroad,
Yeah,
which can give +1 stealth to one of his Anarch actions. And now he's just eroding poor Pedro's pool, like,
yeah.
because that ivory bow really jammed him so badly between a rock and a hard place, where every time one of his vampires gets caught, suddenly he's down his actions.
Yeah.
And with the access to so much block
Mm.
from that advanced aspects on the board, it's just so difficult for him. So far, his last couple of turns, he's really only been acting. Remember the edge this time. They're only really acting when he has a seduction.
Mhm.
So any ability to get past Iadek.
Yeah, and Pedro is in no position to oppose all of these small bleeds. He'll just have to let them through right now.
I mean, he can try, but what does it get him here?
Nothing.
Because he doesn't really play any combat of his own with the Carfax Abbey, even if he punches one of the children for one from there, they'll just get their blood back. And for him, it's very much a dwindling resource.
Yes, yes. No, Pedro is certainly in a pretty bad spot here. He does have another. Yeah,
Dreams being replaced with
yeah,
dreams.
yeah. another dream there, but that is certainly keep him in this game.
The few naysayers we've had on FaceBase telling us to not try and make the whole week of dreams happen are really being contradicted by the action on the tables. It's dreams all the way down.
Everyone seems to be playing it.
And
It
it's amazing because so much of the time you'd be sitting at the table and people trying to find out where they are in the dreams queue. How many tokens do you have on it? Trying to figure out. I've seen it contested once
yeah.
through the week so far, but for a lot of it, it's a very gentlemanly card of people just waiting their turn to be able to drop it down.
It looks to me like Rome might have had one in his hand from his reaction there, slamming it. But he might have
I
just been
was
joking as
next.
well. He might just have been joking as well.
But you can understand, like in
Yeah,
reality.
Pedro needs it more right now.
So that was a seduction, not on Ilek. It's on tapped vampire.
Hmm.
Balash almost seems to be surprised for it, but at this point, he just needs Balash to not have the second tradition
Hmm.
or any other kind of wake.
Hmm.
It's his only hope to try and push through. He's down to his last four pool. He's
He's just hail marrying this, and
all he's got is some dreams, but the narrow mind's taxes paid and it bounces on to Jose Maria.
yeah. So that's unfortunate for Pedro. He didn't
But
get
you
any
can see
closer this
even
time.
from the body language, like where Balash is just almost waiting for him to die off.
Yeah,
I'm not sure he would do that much better against Child Deck.
I mean he's pretty low on pull.
Yeah,
So
he's pretty low on pool, and then his combat ability, Ivory Bow, fine as a solution to the children, but there's so much ability to generate blood on the ministry table.
mhm, mhm.
It
and
feels like they should just be able to quickly overwhelm him.
yeah, and there's three of the children right now. So the Ivory Bow can deal with one each turn, but
1 + 1 per wake, maybe. But then
maybe.
the Arctic Railroad damages that calculation. Plus,
Mm,
they have a discipline of some sort. So, with Ministry having access to Protean,
mm,
there is always a possibility that there might be a point of aggravated damage that they themselves would have.
yes. So really, realistically, Balak would like Pedro to survive for a bit longer,
Yeah,
especially this very nurtured
there we go. Pedro
version.
finally gave up on that vampire. Whatever you were, beautiful vampire, you will not be seen in this round.
Nope.
I also think his little dream of an island of pool arriving on his playmat has largely been dispelled.
That has vaporized at this point. Yes.
At least he's got the edge, he can go
Mm.
down
You get
with
one.
an official record of him fighting.
Yeah,
I
he'll
don't think
get
he's going
one
to
of
be able to
those
hold on to
if he can. Yeah, exactly.
the edge.
There are a lot of people between him and that pool.
But those edges really are beautiful. Like this is from the early day of Vitas and other card games, like where a company decided that gamers, if they're able to afford all these collectible card games, they're able to afford some nice things for them. And as far as I know, those ones are actually genuinely gold plated. There was an edition of those done for Vitas and for Legend of Five Things. Yeah, that's where you can see Balash's almost bored approach to this table. He's able to get the Villain down for 5, so he's back up to 11 pool for some serious comfort.
Right, and that is not too bad. When his predator is this low on actions and quite weak vampires at this point, 11 should be fine. He might even actually transfer this round.
Yeah, time wise, we're
No,
about
he
an
transferred
hour
it.
and change. I think that's 52 minutes on the clock. So we're still not really under pressure. But I think in some ways, Balance is underplaying the threat he is at the table
Right, right,
to then wait for the right moment to lunge.
right. So we see Jose Maria blocking that.
Yeah, he blocked that and he got death vitaed
Mm,
to steal the blood of his vampire.
right,
So he's just gradually going for incremental advantages.
right. So those are some
That's a governed superior
government
coming down from
superior.
Ialek, keeps building up the board.
Yeah, and he might actually transfer here just to get that vampire out.
I think so. Because we know from Ialek playing the governed the underlined that it has to be a capacity 6 or lower.
Right.
So it would cost him 3. It would
Mm,
leave him on 8, which
which
is
is
more
fine.
than he started the
Yeah,
turn with.
exactly. It's probably fine with that if he gets. Yeah, some table talk going on here. So whenever Ben does go quiet like this, that's because he's actually listening in on the conversation at the table. I'm not able to hear that. My job is just to say things to keep you happy while he's trying to figure out what's actually happening at the table. But I don't think we have anything to. Um,
Yeah, it's trying to understand that because right now it's a question of how much pressure does he have to put forward and where the relative position is. Like here, he just jumps in for a hunt. I think he's in a, find himself in a good position, and they're just trying to work out with the time remaining. Like, is there enough action on the table? Is there enough movement forward to where we can realistically expect the game to end?
right.
So we have another Tremere hitting the table there.
Yep. As,
So it's
as
only a 5
it's
cap,
only
leaving
fine.
him
Yeah.
with 9 pool. So still a very, very comfortable position. And now let's see what Jose Maria can bring us because he's after taking quite a lot of blood damage, like between the Nosferatu beating him up with the presses and the murders of crows.
Mm,
We have a contest of dreams.
interesting. Interesting.
I think he's seeing Pedro as not being able to afford the contest.
Right.
So
Right.
having had the dream stuck in his hand
Yeah.
and sitting in the queue, I think at some point he says that look, I want my dreams. Like let's force the situation to happen.
Yeah.
So by playing it now, Pedro is almost certain to yield it,
For sure.
and then
He
he
can't
gets it
afford
from
that.
next turn and starts looking for his answer.
Mm,
Because I think for Jose Maria, he is just trying to get himself to a situation where he isn't subject to foreshadowing destruction
right.
from
Right.
the dominant decks.
Exactly. Because right now, Jose Maria has not been able to push through that many votes of anything. And for a voting deck, he's been very passive. And we have grown.
He did his bleed for 1 to get the edge back.
Yeah.
Obviously, beautiful edge. Open the temptation of saying that I don't want to be an aggressor. I don't want to ruin my
I
relationships,
just want
but
to
I
think of
want to
this one
touch
for
the
a
thing
bit.
before the turn is up.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
So very chill turn there with a bunch of hunting.
mhm. Yep. I'm passing the
And
turn
now it seems to
to
be
left.
he's trying to figure out
What did he
how
pass?
mean spirited it was to contest their dreams.
Yeah.
And
But
at this point, if Heroin has his one, his their points are just contested all across the board.
yeah.
3-way contest, make this exciting. He can't have another location, can he?
He,
How many beautiful things can Annex possibly have?
it did look like he was making space for one more. Um, he
We
did.
have
He did use. Yep, that is another location.
what is that? Yeah, and the table seem to have largely the same reaction.
Mm,
Saying it's impossible, you can't have that many nice things. And now we have a contest for the Arcturius.
mhm. And he did.
Table is really going moving into a complicated relationship stage.
Yeah, it would look like. But does he get to have that open now? No, it's contested, right? Yes.
And
Uh,
it almost seems that he forgot to let me the heart on Balash's side of the table so much because Balish is really kind of binding his time,
mm,
trying to act innocent and looking for the right spot to lunge at his prey.
yep.
So it's possible that it's an
And here we
unintentional
have the,
contest.
yeah, we have the
The children
three,
moving forwards.
and that is
I think Pedro is very much aiming to reach out for a handshake here.
it,
But he has a
this is
trick.
an
He has a
actual.
trick. Still no block to lead.
There's something here. Uh, he is.
Oh,
Oh,
such
he
an
is.
expensive deflection.
Yep, very very expensive, but important. Referee two blood here. He definitely needed that one to mix out. But Lech has one more vampire open. He could.
It seems very much an act of desperation at this point, saying that, look, I'll get one more turn.
Mm,
A basic survival instinct kicking in. Balash has another wake. And at this point, he's got to be starting to consider. At this point, he's got to be starting to consider taking down some of the Ministry vampires.
mhm.
He's got the ivory bow. He
Yeah.
needs to reduce that board because it's going to be in his face very much before long.
Yep. Like we talked about, this is he is the Grand Prix, so he will be facing that as soon as
Yeah,
Pedro is
we have
eliminated.
a sneaky combat card, dodge card coming in from the Ministry.
Hmm.
Very disrespectful to the ivory bow. It's supposed to be the Omega weapon, but
He's using that location that he played this time.
that's not a location. That's the Coven rolling around the table, aiming to claim its victim.
Oh, all right. So that's just going to circle around then. All right. We have been seeing a fair bit of Coven, right?
But in many ways, like for yourself playing the Coven, it's like if you think of it, it's a Mastercard and two blood to a vampire you control.
Yeah.
So yes, it can help the other players eventually, but because it cycles off to your predator,
It's not just Pedro is conceding it,
no,
right?
no, they're spelling in the names of the card.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's just looking for general participation.
All right.
He gets his other turn, like he barely managed to survive.
Yep.
But you have Alexander there with no blood is going to be facing a mandatory hunt. You have the surrendered contest of the dreams, as we expected with Jose Maria. Mandatory hunt coming through. Balash, stop looking at your hand, bro. This is just mean. Let the man have his blood.
Just hunting.
So rude. Let him through.
That is a
Govern
big dog.
superior.
That,
But I think
oh, no,
this isn't
superior.
the govern
Sorry.
superior to bring out a vampire at all. I think this is the govern superior to convert one blood to two pool,
Right.
and
Yes,
then a
yes,
promise of a future
yes,
pool
yes.
at a possible date.
Yeah, yeah. That that makes sense. He will be able to in transfers bring two of those back home, and that is a little bit of a lifeline.
I think it's a lifeline that exists purely from hopes that the other players are going to be able to do something about the ministry.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like
Because
he's
if military can take one of the towns they usually take, he's dead.
yeah, like he's been bleeding steadily for at least three every turn,
Yep.
largely uncontested.
Right.
So now we have the consideration of the Heart of Cheetius contest.
And it seems that he's fighting that, right?
Yeah, I think he's still in the on top phase. You have a Coven contest? Okay, that's new for me. I don't think I've ever seen that happen.
I mean, that's a way to lock the covenant away, right?
Well, somebody is gonna pay for it eventually. But you have the Heart of Cheetius contest has been surrendered.
All right.
You have the Coven now has been contested.
So that means Lex could probably check out of Shibia's open then.
But like Lek has got to be feeling his victory point now.
Yeah.
He's gonna get three additional cards in his on top phase with the heart. He's got an enormous board. The Nos are not able to put that much pressure on him,
No.
and now you almost have his predator is trying to negotiate how much pressure would be reasonable to put on him
Mm.
based on his board state and his incoming six pool.
Yeah. So we do still have Balak taking his turn up there, and he's turning cards over. So he's trying to do something. Is that a bleed?
It must be. It looks like a govern. It's going across. He has no vampires in his uncontrolled region. So sometimes you're going to need that level of planning where for especially for factions like Ravnos
Mm.
and sometimes for the governed factions that you need to plan out to make sure that you have vampires in your controlled area
Yeah.
for where you're able to use the blood you're adding to vampires in your uncontrolled area uh, if you want to take it back into your pool.
Right.
So here
It got blocked, and they just
they threw hands.
yeah, they threw hands, and it looks like Balak is passing the turn to Maria.
But I think again, this seems I don't know if it's frustration or it's an act. Like to me, he looks much more calm than he looks frustrated.
Hmm.
I think he's just lulling Jose Maria into a false sense of security by
Yeah.
seeing a govern blocked until and just exhausting his blocking ability.
Yeah. Yeah. And Jose Maria is still sitting on 9 pool, so he's clearly Balak can have a turn where he could blink for 9, but that would be a very good turn.
Mandatory hunts to replace all the horrifying rivers of blood lost from his vampires last turn.
Yeah.
And then
Does he leave that unlocked, or is he going to try something? No, looks like he's passing his turn. Cycling a
he's playing a
card.
very coy game.
Yeah. And
I think part of it, like, is just the Nosferatu have such mean combats, and he has such an enormous pool
Mhm.
for Jose. He's kind of stuck trying to lobby for position. He doesn't have enough pool to bring out another vampire. He has
Has to,
some pressure being maintained from the Tremere.
yeah, essentially, that is a voting deck, isn't it?
I don't actually think so. They're looking at the vampires there. That looks like another Malkavian deck. We saw him throw some votes across, but it seems to be a less aggressive version of Pedro's deck.
Or
That could also be a reason why that vampire never came out. Maybe
it
if
would
they
have been
had some accord
contested.
across the
Yeah,
table that they want to contest.
could
And
be.
now you have another bleed that bounced across with a
Surrender.
Garibaldi Museum,
Mm.
like just having the ability to get the bait and switch every turn,
Yeah.
and then the Carfax Abbey to cover the cost and then some. It's so horrifying.
Yeah, the efficiency is just insane. And Pedro is on 2 pool here, going into the ministry turn. Lech, I he Lech should be able to finish Pedro here.
Yeah. Is the blood gone from the top child revolution?
I don't know. Maybe.
Look at the dismissive way he pays half of all his remaining pool just to get the bait and switch there.
Mm.
Pedro almost begging to be put out of his misery. The hand is already there, just waiting to be shaken. More child revolution.
Mm.
Just put the man out of his misery.
Creating that. Uh, but how is Lech getting pulled back this time? Because he's down to
He's
one
all in.
pool.
He's all in to get his VP and and the six pool.
Oh, so he doesn't
Like
really he
there's
doesn't
no.
really try to get it any other way because he has no transfers where he could bring anything back. So he needs to kill Pedro, get fire pool, and then it's fine.
I think that's the position he's been put into.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
the Nosferatu are bleeding him so uncontested.
Hmm.
At some point, he's going to have to start throwing the children in the way. And there we
There,
go.
that's
That's
the
the
handshake.
handshake. That's one VP
Pedro's
and
out.
six pool.
Well, five plus the one you had. No, you get six pool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
he's at seven now,
Pedro
which
was
is
our
a,
bright spark of this table. I think
he
it's
burned.
quite early in the morning. Perhaps Jose Maria needs a couple more coffees before he really gets to his full potency of character.
Mhm.
But we have movement at the table. We still have about, I can't quite clearly see the timer there, but it looks about 35 minutes, 36 minutes left on the round.
Yep. For the later rounds, we will have some more graphical enhancements, such as name of players actually appearing when they're taking their turn,
Yeah,
as
the
well
plan for
as
that is to have that for the finals.
yeah,
And if we can, we'll try and also have that for the GP showdown.
yeah, yeah.
So, because this evening we are perhaps at too great an ambition, planning to stream two final level games where we have final of the day one of the European Championship, followed half an hour later at 2100 hours CET by the GP finals, circuit finals, where the winners of the GPs are going to be facing off against each other with decks of their choice for, I suppose it's not really a super official title, just the bragging rights of
Yeah, yeah. It's an
being the winningest
invitational.
of the GP winners.
It's an invitational kind of game, just to spotlight some of the best players we have in the game right now. But at least for those rounds, you will also have a visible clock on our base, I believe. So that will make it a little bit easier to track everything for you.
Yeah, we're a little bit behind schedule at the moment, so I'm just doing a little bit of administrative work to see if we can speed up the streaming table for the next round and try and get it as close as possible to the originally announced schedule.
Yeah.
But we're going to be heading into lunch break after this round. So then there's going to be a bit of a lull, and hopefully we can abbreviate the lunch to make sure that we get back on track. Because as Jesper tells everybody, the schedule is the schedule.
Well, I mean, we are at the card game event, so actually sticking to the schedule is a feat. It's a feat rarely accomplished. So we do have Balak taking his turn here. He's playing no less than two Mastercards, it looks like, and turning over, forgetting the name here, of the previously contested over
The Coven.
the Coven. Sorry, yes, the Coven. Uh, and we see him try for some. Oh, he's passing the Coven backwards then. So he's done with that. And
Very quick turn.
very, very quick turn. He did not do anything else besides playing those Mastercards. Uh, we see Pedro leaving the room there as well.
Goodbye,
Now,
Pedro. You were wonderful. You were the great spark in this Wally Wally
so
match.
Maria is trying to take pen here. He also brings out
That's a
a
wider view.
master.
Wider view that at this point in the game is just
Yeah,
MasterCard of gain one pool.
Yeah. He equipped, and now he is hunting, I think, just to get a bit more blood on those vampires. And then possibly he has one fairly healthy vampire standing there. He might be trying to do something. Nope. He's passing the turn to
He's hunting,
Euro.
reloading.
Yep. Just gearing up to do something later on.
I think Jose Maria is really looking at himself as just zero point 0.5 VP as he's likely outcome in this round.
Right, right. And, I mean, that's not very ambitious, but it is something.
Yeah, as an early game, perhaps still at a very low number of coffees after a long week. Sometimes it's easy to give oneself just a more reasonable goal.
Yeah,
So now we have the heroine is trying to make sure that the game is progressing at pace, like because I think he sees himself as having a decent shot at a game win here.
right.
So he's just asking that the game progresses at a good pace as Jose Maria is choosing his discard there.
But I mean, arguably, both both Balak and Jose Maria were taking very quick turns there, and
Yeah, just the discard got bogged down there.
yeah,
But again, like I'd write that off more
mm,
to the early morning nature.
yeah.
So,
That is another little cheeky thing they're going
so
through.
a block bleed with a combat ends,
Right.
and in that we have a bleed coming through for one. But realistically, like once we get to Lech's turn,
Mm.
there is only so fast they can resolve a turn on a board with
With that
seven
many,
minions and
two
four
million
locations and
locations, and yeah, yeah. No, I mean, arguably, Lex turns have to be. He has to be given some room to actually do his actions.
yeah, and in many ways, you have a situation where you also need to be allowed to play your game because
Yeah,
I've been in situations like that where yes, you want everything to resolve, but you can slip into sloppy play very easily,
yeah,
and then you have a very delicate balance between like where are you progressing at a pace that's acceptable to the rest of the table,
yeah.
and where are you putting yourself at risk of just making bad plays.
Right, right. So we talked yesterday about how taxing and grueling a tournament like this can be. This obviously is the first round, but as we progress through the rounds, uh, playing quickly and is obviously always the aim, but you do not want to get into the room of playing slowly. And when you are more exhausted later in the rounds, it's the table mechanics of how to resolve things. We saw Pedro resolving his tablets, uh, very much the way you're supposed to do it. But it's so easy to screw up such a resolution and you forget to replace a card or something, as we talked about. And big table mechanics on this in a board state as complicated as the one that we see from Lech here. Yeah,
Yeah,
you,
so
you
we have a
gotta be allowed some
negotiation
time.
happening between Lech and yeah, they're trying to come to an agreement for some kind of push for head to head. Essentially, Lech is saying that he plans to power through Balazs. Balazs seems to be a little bit amused by how easily he's being dismissed, but he's saying once I come through Balazs, as long as you support me, I will then not progress forward until you've claimed your victory point of the Nosferatu, if you can.
Well, I mean, do we see a reasonable way for Jose Maria to claim a victory point off of Karom here?
Unless he's been saving up something really, really juicy. And yeah, Heroin seems to be almost insulted that
Yeah,
he's being considered anything other than inevitable in this position.
it looks to me that Rome has certainly the second strongest board, but being sat where he's at, he is not necessarily in the best position to play the next.
He's a phenomenal board. The difficulty he has here is that with the remaining time on the clock, you
Right.
have a question of how easily can he actually finish
Yeah.
because he's doing largely he's doing largely on stealth bleeds, which are backed up by his combat ability.
Yeah.
And we have Lek, who hasn't been blocking with his child, been sending all of those forward.
Right.
If he wants to switch into full intransigence, he can just start blocking with the children. He can start blocking with the barons,
Mm-hmm. No, it seems
and
to.
just the flow of the game, like the ability to move forward and get the VPs, is going to be quite curtailed from the number of actions he's able to take.
It seems to me that Balak has probably a high potential of being able to eliminate Jose Maria, but
He
he is,
has to have a big lunch and he
yeah,
has to hope that there's not a lot of bounces saved up there
yeah, and he's
because that's what
mainly hampered now by having to be defensive from from Lech instead. So what looked to be the second most likely player to actually knock someone out, that dwindles a bit when you're the prey of someone with a stronger board state as Lech is.
Well, Balash, with the amount of pool he's paying for himself, it seems to be he believes that he might be able to get a lunch here.
Right, right, maybe. Uh,
Bleed for one is not the greatest lunch we ever witnessed, but
no,
journey of 1,000 miles and all that.
yeah, and he's still got three more Wake vampires here. I can only assume he's going to keep. Well, I mean, he's got wakes and ways to put them out.
That
He
is a
might.
very strange move.
Oh,
Why did he not transfer the one back? Like it seems to be
wow.
an almost.
And he
Is he trying to honeypot Lek?
yeah, and he did not go offensively at all.
He had a bleed for one just to move
Yeah,
the edge.
leaving
It's a
Jose
strange
Maria.
move.
Yeah, that was a weird turn. Jose Maria is
Yeah. Obviously, like Balish is a very strong player.
right,
He, as I said, he won the first tournament of the Week of Dreams on the Monday. He was in the Tuesday final as well. So
so
now we have an attempt from Jose Maria to go forward.
right, which
We
has
have a
been
little we have a little
far rare,
spoiler of a conditioning as he tries to come through for stealth.
and it looks like at least at least right now it looks like Karom is trying to block it.
So it's a bleed for five,
That's a hefty lead.
reduced by three of the resources. So he loses
Right.
two
Yep.
and gets to touch the edge. Achievement unlocked. Every player surviving at the table has now touched the edge.
Yep. Well, I mean, Pedro did touch it early on. He was very aggressive in the start of this, which is
He
why
will be
Balak,
remembered.
is in the state he is.
I'm still, I'm fascinated to see what's going to happen on the next turn
Mm-hmm.
of what Balash is trying to signal there.
Because Lech can definitely bleed for three, but Balak has kept three vampires open, so it's plenty of defenses ready to go.
Oh, look at that! Govern bleeds just powering
Mm-hmm.
through.
Mm-hmm.
So he went from a dominant position into
That is a
taking
very
a
aggressive
massive lead.
turn from Jose Maria. Will Maria be able to take Rome out? No, surely
Not
not.
this turn,
No,
but
surely not.
you also see there, this is a really important card you just put into his discard pile.
Hmm.
So he played direct intervention
Right,
on Lex turn to try
right,
and stop him further expanding his board. But that direct intervention seemed like, well, we know for a true fact that it cost him at least two of his pool
right.
that he might have used on conditioning or something.
And we got Covenant.
So I think there wasn't that much respect being shown for the enormous amount of time that Maria has had to build up his hand.
Right, right. That is certainly true. He's been biding his time, and we've been dismissive of that. But here we see why.
You
To
have the
launch
sudden
like this.
acceleration to the finish.
Yep.
Now we have a rush coming backwards.
Right.
So Heron doesn't seem to be super impressed with how much pressure he was put under there.
Nope. But this is very, very good for Lech because this means that he is going to be largely untouched. Well, that's not true, but he's certainly touched slightly less.
Yeah, so he gets into combat. We have a whack of what I believe to be a concealed weapon walking stick.
Right.
Takes him down to zero. He tops himself up with the coven in the middle of combat.
Hmm.
A real fascinating drive by just tossing bottles at him.
Well,
We have a press. So
he is actually going to knock that vampire down. No, maybe, maybe not. Like he's involving himself into that.
so we have a technically correct argument, but you can see there from Heroin's reaction that it's quite frustrating for him
Mm.
because he played his cards in the wrong order. So
Oh,
he
all
had
right.
a press and he had a taste. In this case, he played the taste first, at which point his window for the press would have been gone. So a little bit frustrating for him, but I still think Malkavian uh, minion there is no no blood whatsoever. So he's going to be facing a mandatory hunt. Time is very much not in their favor.
It looks like Chrome is ending his turn here on 5 blood as well. So sorry, 5 pull. So it's not actually progressing his pull through this round, and he did not go offensively more than possibly two. I think maybe Lech lost 2 pull there, but that would be it. So it's Lech's turn, and he
He's got to
doesn't
be looking
see.
hungry across the table.
Yeah, I can't see him play any more locations at least because they're all out there.
What's he missing at this point?
Exactly, they're all out there. So he will be going straight into those bleeds.
He's got the Garibaldi Meucci. He's got the Anarch Railroad.
Yeah.
He's got the Carfax Abbey. He's got some Mystery Giant Rock.
So we we are looking. This is going to be the test, though. Will uh, Balak be able to put up defenses? He's left 3 vampires ready to go. One of them equipped with a bow. Will he be able to fend off the assault from the Anarchs here? Um, a little bit of debate going on as to how this is going to play out. I can only see, because we don't see Lech turning any of his cards over just yet. Um, but surely it's going to start probing the defenses of Balak here now.
Yeah, so we have Lech trying to make deals with anyone he can, really, because he's very low.
He's only on 2 points
Yeah, he's down to last two, so he's trying to convince him that he can go forward and have somebody help him.
because he'll be fine if he can just knock out Balak, but Balak does have defenses, like we
Now we
said.
seem to have teams forming.
Right, right. Uh, oh, Rome actually did gain a bit of pull there. He's on 7 pull. I missed that. So he did get some of that pull back, making it so that both him and Jose Maria are sitting on 7 pull, whereas Balak's only got 3 pull. And obviously, like we said, Lech is sitting on only 2 pull. And Lech needs to do something. He needs to do something because he can't stay on 2 pull. The Sparta is certainly able to knock him out next turnaround if he starts that low as 2 pull. But he is respecting. He's at least looking like he's respecting Balak as a sport. But here's something is coming here. He's one of his vampires is going on the offensive, I believe, with the bleed here, and he should be getting Anarch Railroad there. Uh, on stealth, I believe,
Yeah,
and we do have the one with the bow blocking here. Uh, because this is a vampire, not a children of the revolution. So I think this is the way that he's going to try and do this. He's going to go with his vampires first in order to have Balak have to do blocks, have to
so he's reminding.
exhaust his resources for that, and then if he can't get through with the vampires, he'll just turn over all of his children of the revolution in an attempt to get that. And we are shown the card there.
Yeah, it looks like it's the hounds to destroy equipment with first strike.
Hmm.
So then he gets rid of the ivory bow, so he doesn't have to take the aggravated damage,
Right,
leaving them with just the option of hands for one.
right. And this is actually Children of Revolution coming in now.
But you can see why he went with the Baron to be able to
Yeah,
get his equipment kill,
right.
support them, and now he's that much safer
Yeah,
moving across. Because now, if he's just taking punches for one with a Carfax Abbey, he's able to top them up.
right,
He's
right.
not worried, even if he has to hunt with one or two, maybe time is against him. But he's pushing across with everything he can, trying to take off those last three pool of his prey.
Yeah,
We have a wake coming in.
yeah. Balak is certainly having to defend this. You can't just let any of this through.
Now it's just a matter of the volume coming across.
Right, right. It is a horde of Anaks storming your defenses here. And I bet this is what Balak was preparing for last round. This is why he did such a sort of conciliatory round rather than an offensive round last time. Ah,
So what's Balash got?
that's the question, isn't it? It has got something. And that's a deflection kind of.
Of a bleed of one seems a little bit desperate.
Right, right. Isn't that cost?
Another wake for Ialek.
Hmm.
That cost two, so all the blood to that vampire.
Right, right, right.
Another deflection.
Hmm.
Jesus.
I mean,
Balash looks like he's actually going to be able to get his prey. Jose
yeah,
Maria is down to almost
five.
nothing.
He's got five there. And that is certainly well within range of what Balak can bleed for.
Lake is considering trying to see if there's some way to
Go
have him
for
block it, so go into combat. But when he got the stealth to bypass Ialek, he certainly has the stealth to bypass the Nosferatu at the top, who we previously accused of being a voting deck.
yeah. So it looks like Lech's attempts here might actually be for naught. He needs to bleed for two more, but he needs to get through. He's got one wake vampire. Is he going to go balls to the wall and try to do that? It
A child
seems
getting discarded. They remembered that the ministry is eligible for the edge.
right, right. Is he is he going to no, he's
Balash
passing
got
turn.
his turn.
He's passing his turn there.
A
They
villain to top himself up.
yep. So Balak is back at five there.
Four. Four blood.
Four?
Plus the incredibly arrogant blood he's got in the uncontrolled vampire.
Right, right, right,
Like that should be some kind of yellow card or something, right?
right. But he's paying three there. Yeah. Balak is trying to argue that he needs to do something. Time is running out. And we have a judge call. So again, we're pausing the time and calling the judge. You can see one of our judges heading for the back room there.
Yeah, Heroin is making an argument. I think it's an argument for slow play
Mm,
because there's so little time left. Like it seems to be 13 minutes.
right. They are still playing though. Didn't they pause the time? Maybe not. Please keep going. Uh, and that's the last Children of
But I think
Revolution.
with the problem with slow play is that the judge cannot really
Well,
judge something that he hasn't seen. So
exactly.
in this case, they would call him just to make sure that the game is progressing.
Right, right, right. Yeah. And almost all of the games down here in the main hall has finished at this point. Oh, another deflection, right? Again deflected into Jose Maria. He's now down to two pool.
No, that's an out of turn master.
Oh, all
So
right.
that seems to have cancelled
And that's
the
it.
govern, and Jose Maria is gone.
Jose Maria is gone. And that gives six pool immediately to
He
Balak.
seems unhappy with the hand he was stuck with,
Hmm, certainly.
really not getting to launch except for still the one incredible damage turn that he was able to throw over at heroin. But
Hmm. Covenant's going
and
backwards
there
there.
we go, the prophecy of the coven coming true once again.
Right, right.
The coven always knows.
Yep. And we are down to three players here.
Is it going to be a 1.5 to 1.5 tie?
Maybe, maybe.
We have the army of rats that came down there from the Nosferatu
Hmm.
that drained half of Lex's remaining pool, and now
Which was one. Yeah,
half the pool is half the pool.
yeah, yeah. Certainly. And well, I mean, if when you're down to one pool, you have
So
to
now the
be
Nos are going all out to claim their victory.
right, right.
You can
Certainly.
see Foreign Combat getting in as they try to take out everything across the board.
Right.
Russia's coming in across for the Barons. Um, you have all the completely reasonably priced Anarch Wakes
Hmm.
just tossing waves and waves of children in the way.
Yep.
Childs, technically,
Yeah, yeah. Unless you're T Rex and have a really awesome guitar rig. So Jerome, certainly considering his possibilities here, he's now all locked down.
I think he's just throwing in the Russians, like, so he's just trying to keep it moving. It's a bleed for one, and we have another one coming in for a block.
And surely that's the last attempt, right?
Bleed for one. So he's got the action efficiency, but it's just the Anarchs are able to unlock for so much.
But he
And they
does, he
ran out.
gets it, he gets it. He
So
does
we
get
have
it.
1.5 against 1.5.
And a 1 point for Lech there. And
And
we,
now it's all about that time.
yeah, not a
Now we
lot.
will have to give out, like, I think we need to get a more visible timer
Hmm.
and never have them put the timer above the pool there
Yeah,
because that became completely invisible to us. We just have to guess.
and it's
I'd say
certainly
the other
now
thing we
when
should
it's
do
as far.
ourselves also is keep our own timer.
Yeah, that's usually what we were doing. Just start the timer when we stop stopping it, and we should be fine.
So
It
worst case
looks,
scenario will be a couple of seconds off.
yeah, it looks like Balak is taking his last turn standing here.
Oh, the intimidation factor is coming in.
Yeah,
Look at this, just slapping cards across the nos.
surely neither of these players have the ability to actually finish the other. We've got
Well,
seven,
Balish does have governs. He does have conditionings. He does have maybe foreshadowing destruction.
but
So
Jerome's sitting at 13
hmm,
pool and a fair amount of vampires. Of course, he is all tapped down now.
you have a Pentex came across.
Mhm.
Pentex came across for no blocks. Then you have a mirror walk come down from Balash, making sure that there's no combat. We have another wake gone, and he's fully tapped out. So
Yeah,
his primary defense of protected resources is each one of them will have to compare to the wake.
right, right. Now,
Another govern bleed. Is there another wake? No, we have a DI for the govern
right. And of course,
direct intervention. Because direct intervention, so many decks only run one. But yeah, I always found that strange, like with the power of the effect. why would you not have that available for yourself across multiple turns? So it's great to see decks kind of focusing on that and giving themselves multiples of it to benefit from the protection.
Yep,
We seem to have 7 minutes left on the clock. Thank you so much for
moving
moving
into
that one.
yeah,
Everyone
and
try to cast some kind of spell, or we have a fly in the stream room, which would be horrifying.
so we do see Jerome trying to mount some kind of offense now against Balak. Um, we haven't seen Jerome actually do any of these big bleed actions yet.
I don't think
He's,
he has any big bleeds. Like he's got the his lunge card gives
mm,
him +1 bleed,
mhm,
but he's purely going with from inevitability,
yeah, but
and he's trying to um, use the threat of his combat. But
yeah,
even the threat of the combat seems to be disappearing. There, you saw the universal sign of death saving throw in D&D or hand strike for one in Vitas
mm,
of just the fist shaking across at your opponent.
yeah, and certainly Balak has enough pool to manage a couple of turns of that. Uh, whereas Balak, if you can get a good bleed turn here,
Look at that beautiful promo, the sketch, divine intervention, direct intervention
mm,
that looks like completely blank on a stream.
yeah, the the glare from the window there on that is oh, and they moving the clock so that we can't see it again. Well,
No, bring it back.
well. Uh, Quipping something there. Not sure what that was.
It's an ally, Mr. Winthrop, I believe.
Mm,
So Mr. Winthrop would give him +1 intercept for.
but no actual effect on Balakis's
Yeah, but you
pool
can see
there.
he left one untapped, so that's going to be the Primogen
Mm,
to have the protected resources from. So he's got his defense in place,
right.
and I think at this point he's going to try and knock out as many vampires as possible. But after all the time of just sitting on the board looking pretty, Chantry is suddenly very much in play.
Mm,
You have that round art for the Chantry. I really like kind of the old cathedral looking Chantry from the original print. Uh, and now we have another Magic of the Smith looking for another weapon of some sort. Like he definitely could do with an ivory bow here, but it would be strange to see multiple ivory bows
in
in the
there.
same deck
Yeah.
because you have the possibility of contest.
Mm,
It's not always the right solution. That looked to me like a sniper rifle.
yeah. I'd
Sniper
say
rifle will certainly be helpful against the large strikes that Nosferatu are able to deliver.
right, right.
And we can see there that no, the army of rats just transitioned to a more aggressive position
Yeah.
at the front of the table. I thought at some point Ballas managed to get rid of the army of rats, but just marched across the table
Out to
into the darkness of no man's land.
right, right. Now, Balak is actually gaining pool here, up to 6 pool, entering next round. Paying 1 for that.
Yeah, I believe that's got the arcane library down now. So the arcane library, he's able to add blood to a vampire in his uncontrolled area every turn,
Mm,
which he can then transfer back.
transfer,
So
yeah.
arcane library is effectively giving him a pool every turn,
Right, right.
and now they're just
So
having a
Jerome,
back alley brawl for
yeah,
the for that possible game win.
yeah,
Fun way to finish.
yeah,
Both decks can fight.
yeah. See who's able to make more significant blows.
Nosferatu digging up sneaky, sneaky stealth.
Right,
That's unexpected.
trying to get one through here.
intercept. He's been blocked. Going into combat. 8 from bats.
And that is
Punch for
aggravated.
1 to send him to torpor. No, just the 8 from bats
Oh,
does 1 additional damage with an optional maneuver. And then he stayed at close range, took the strike to send the opposing to torpor.
hmm. Possibly setting himself up for a better turn next time. But again, surely time is of the essence. We are down to 4 minutes, I believe, if I can make that out correctly. So the
Bleed for 1, very much offering a continued back alley brawl.
right, right.
Combat cards cost 1 additional blood for it to play. Takes a shot from the sniper rifle
And
and
that
has no press to follow it up.
and he's got 2 blood on that thing attached there.
Walking stick.
Yeah, on the walking stick, so it's fine.
No, but the walking stick is not. That's just the number of strikes it gets. It's not actually blood. They're talking.
Oh, so shouldn't he be in torpor then? There's no blood on that vampire.
He's on 0. We
Yeah,
have to go
okay.
into torpor if he would take damage that he's not able to soak.
Yeah,
So he's going to be stuck with man coming through
yeah.
next turn.
And that's not where he wants to be because he doesn't have time for that.
Yeah, but I think he's largely accepted his fate of 1.5 victory points.
Right.
We can see
Yeah,
Balash is using Chantry to bring his vampire straight out of torpor without having to spend an action on it. Villain to extend this game to an impossible level.
yeah.
Now they're going to be swapping mandatory hunts very, very shortly. Well, he's still trying to go for it. He still have a governed bleed free.
Yeah.
I would expect just to see a protected resources come down on this, even if there is mad conditioning or something. No, it's an attempt to block.
Yeah.
He
He's
wants to
trying.
keep knocking him out, and that's time around.
That's timing around. So we have 1.5 points for each of these players, both Balak and Karo. We had Lech gain 1 point, knocking out one.
I
Um,
think it's a rather entertaining start today.
Right.
A good showcase of the breadth of European players and the different decks they play. A little bit unfortunate, I think, for Jose Maria to be stuck with a Malkavian deck on a table with the same cross table ally. But they seem to be managed to miss each other's scripts. So the main problem appeared to be his hand getting really, really clogged.
yeah, yeah. And we saw that once he was able to sculpt his hand enough, he could launch for quite a significant round, just not enough to actually put Chrome out.
Yeah.
Well, we will take a little bit of a break here, and we'll be back with you at uh, 1:30, if I'm reading this correctly. So we're hoping to be with you just before that, maybe 1:20, and do a little bit of up talk for the next one. But until then, I hope you've had a nice little morning here with us, or wherever you are on Earth, a night time. So, but my name is Victor, and I'll be back with you then.
I'm Ben Fox, and I'll be dialing in at 13:30.
See you in a bit.